Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Scholar Classes. Today we'll discuss the part 4 of the history lesson Print Culture and the Modern World. Before starting this discussion, I would like to request all my viewers to please like, share and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. Can we assume that the print culture to some extent paved the way for French Revolution? The answer is yes. Historians have put forward three arguments in this favor. Number one, print popularized the idea of Enlightenment thinkers. It means the writings of Voltaire and Rousseau were read widely by the people, and after reading these theories, they became much more aware of their rights. They started to criticize the church and the monarch. The second point is print created a new culture of dialogue and debate. Now, the people have started to think that whatever culture traditions they had been following from the past was whether right or wrong. Since people started to read books and gain knowledge, they became more knowledgeable and they could differentiate between things. By 1780s, people started to criticize the monarch as now they came to know about their rights and other forms of government. As the literacy rate was increasing in Europe, new readers came into being by the 19th century. They were the children, women, and the workers. As primary education became compulsory in Europe, children became an important category of readers. To make more children literate, a children's press was set up in France in 1857. This press published old and new folk tales, folk stories, and folk fairy tales. Women also became important readers as well as writers. Special books like teaching, proper behavior, and housekeeping were published for them. Some of the best novelists were women, such as Jane Austen, the Bronte sisters, and George Eliot. Their writings mainly talked about feminism, women empowerment, strength, determination, and willpower. In the third category, we have workers. Some libraries were opened up for the workers in England, especially for white collar workers. These white collar workers are office workers or professionals, then artisans and lower middle class people. Whenever they had time, they used to visit library and read. Slowly, they started to write about politics and autobiographies. Many innovations occurred during the 18th century and by the mid 19th century in Europe in terms of printing press. Richard M. Hoe of New York had perfected the power-driven cylindrical press. This was capable of printing 8,000 sheets per hour. This press was particularly useful for printing newspapers. In the late 19th century, the offset press was developed, which could print up to 6 colors at a time. From the 20th century onwards, electrically operated presses accelerated printing operations. That means now in the field of printing, we can see many machines up again. Now let's talk about India and the world of print. If we talk about our country, it had a very old traditions of handwritten manuscripts. It was mainly written in Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian, and in many vernacular languages. Most of the scripts were mainly written on handmade paper or the leaves of palm tree. As we know that the manuscripts were very expensive, it was delicate and it was very difficult to carry it from one place to another. During the pre-colonial period, students did not read textbooks. All forms of knowledge was transformed from the guru or the teacher to the students. Now, let's talk about how print comes to India. The printing press first came to Goa with Portuguese missionaries in the mid 16th century. Many missionaries learned Konkani and Kannada languages. Konkani and Kannada languages are mainly spoken on the western side or the western coast of India. Catholic priests printed the first Tamil book in 1579 at Cochin, and in 1713 the first Malayalam book was printed by them. During this period, English language was not so popular among the Indians. And it was at this time that a weekly paper or a magazine was published by James Augustus Hickey. The name of the gazette is Bengal Gazette. In this gazette, he published lots of advertisement, mainly of the slave trade and senior officers. But this kind of news was not liked by the then Governor General of Bengal, Warren Hastings. He felt that this kind of news might damage the image of the colonial government in India. And from now on, the newspapers can only be published after the permission of the British government. So friends, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Goodbye.